one thing that you should know almost immediately is, yes, you can explore everything that you can see here, but we're on a quest. Now, we've hidden that quest UI and that quest interface. One of them has given you a quest, and it's a quest of critical importance. And that quest is to get, it's a resource from the canisters that you can find on the back of this herd that we call the grazers. Now, as you're looking at this screen, for the very first time, you're going to notice some of our UI or our HUD elements. Now, the art on this isn't exactly final, but you can start to see how the game is really starting to creep into what we're doing. You can see in the top middle part of the screen that there is a compass. Now, we've hidden our quest markers and our quest objectives, and we'll talk about a quest here in just a moment, but you can see a compass certainly. In the upper right-hand corner of the screen, what you can see is the very beginning of a level and an experience bar. So you can start to see the RPG elements start to seep in. In the lower left-hand corner of the screen, you can actually see our health bar. It's unusual, it's painted like an arrow. Some of the tribal influences are certainly coming into the UI and HUD, and even though the art's not final, you can expect that those tribal influences will stay. You've seen some desert, you've seen some snow, and of course you see here the forest. And currently Aloy is crouched in what we call some stealth grass or some tall grass. In fact, you can see the UI element for this. Right underneath the compass is a little circle. That is in fact a stealth indicator. And so Aloy will need to wait for the right moment in order to introduce that stealth attack.
Sorry, little one.
So we mentioned that there are a couple of RPG elements, right? One of those things that you just saw, especially if you've got the keen eyes or if we zoom in on it, is the number 825 that just popped up. So that number 825 is incredibly important. Why? And you can see that number pop up. But now we've actually also gotten into the loot menu. Now, we've described previously how important the machine parts are to the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, but here we're showing you some of those parts. In fact, that flame coil that you can see on screen is one of the elements that's required to build explosive arrows. So here you can see Aloy picking up what is essentially a couple of health plants. Now, those will fill up your health if you get low, but the important thing here is actually what they represent. You will want to explore every nook and cranny of this open world. The ancient city, the tops of mountains, rivers and valleys, all kinds of settlements, because you never know what you'll find. What Aloy is going to do here, she's going to use what we call the explosive tripwire. And that is really used as a trap. It can be used as a defensive countermeasure, but it's mostly used as a preventative measure. She knows, because she spent so much time with these machines, that these grazers are incredibly skittish, that they will run off at the first sight of her or the first sight of noise. And she knows that if she's going to complete this quest, she's got to get those canisters. So for her, the best way to make sure this happens is to set these explosive tripwires down and try to find a way to force the grazers into the traps. So that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to set down a couple of these traps and we're going to try and create a distraction. The machines in Horizon Zero Dawn. And here we have a species defending itself, these grazers, allowing a couple of them to stick around to fight Aloy. This is the mighty Thunderjaw. Aloy and the Thunderjaw. The Thunderjaw is 24 meters long and it's 10 meters wide. It has 93 destructible armor plates, each with its own health value, and it has 271 animations and 67 VFX. It has 12 attacks, it's 550,000 polygons. So we're going to take a look right here at the fact that there's actually some weak points on the Thunderjaw. As you're taking a look at the leg here, that orange muscle that you can kind of see underneath there, that is also a weak point. If you're able to hit that, you're able to do 4 times the amount of damage that you would ordinarily do. Now the question is, so we're taking a look at the disc launcher right now, and you saw earlier in the E3 trailer that you can shoot off the machine. You can shoot off the disc launcher, but you didn't know why we did it. The reason why we did it is because it takes a lot of arrows to knock off a Thunderjaw's armor plate. But if you can knock off its disc launcher, fighting the Thunderjaw is an awe-inspiring experience. We talked previously about the fact that it has 12 attacks. A number of those attacks that you're seeing now you hadn't seen before. It's not that it has a tail swipe and shooting off those disc launchers is incredibly important for a second tactical reason. It has a 360-degree absolute assault with that disc launcher that makes it incredibly difficult for you to get anywhere close to it. So you're going to want to take off those disc launchers. But if you are, you'll notice now it still has a rail gun and a mouth laser. So this thing's serious. Even though it's previously damaged, it still has a huge amount of attacks to tie the machine down so that she gets a brief window to figure out her next move.